Okay. Back for round two. Pop it up the chat. All right, let me see. Just do this. I don't need that email. I'm not going to China, not now. I am not going to Alexandria, Virginia on Valentine's Day. Business class to Paris. Maybe. All right, that I have to look at as well. Very cool. All right, so I'm back and I'm going to give it a minute, and I don't know who's going to show up, but I'm cool with that. But yay, good stuff. Yay, good stuff has happened. While I wait for people to show up, I'm also just taking a quick look at my messages and whatnot. And good stuff there. Things moving in the right direction. And here we go. Cheryl, nice to see you. It's been so long, hasn't it? I'm back, Judy Dukes. Yep, I'm back. I have good things to report. And what else? I'm just, as we are, it's so funny. I was looking at my tabs open on my my computer over here, and literally my Google of only the sexy people was still there, so I kind of lolled about that. So yay, I am back, and where I am right now is, let me just take a look at this. Nope. Interesting. I have decided that I can't remember how long the initial YouTube was that I started, but I will be here. It is now 11:52. I will do this YouTube live until 12:30 to make it a nice kind of even number. Okay. So Lady Bandit, hello again. So notice what we did. Instead of doing the two bumped up, we took the TikTok live and the YouTube live and we chunked them down. Then, because we're flexible people, when an opportunity came up that I needed to be flexible, instead of scrapping the whole thing, saying, well, if I don't have the initial amount of time, I can't do any of it, I was flexible and I chunked it down. I did a chunk down, and then I just had a meeting, which I can't wait to tell you all about. And now we've got our second chunk, and then we'll sign off, and we will have practiced being flexible and noticing. This is a big thing. I love it. Lady Bandit, check, check, check. We are getting stuff done. Yeah. One of the things we just experimented with too, and all of you are showing up either in the count of how many people here or the people that are just saying in the comments. You are practicing one of the things that a lot of people struggle with, both in clutter and in life, which is starting and then stopping and then starting up again. So notice what you did. You chunked it down and you started up again. Sometimes it can be a struggle for people to, this is the fear. And I think what happens is, and this to me, I'll speak to the ADHD brain, of which I feel like everybody's got a certain percentage, because I think it's the human condition, especially in these over distracting times, is sometimes it can take a lot to get going, a lot to get out of bed and get your body moving. So once you start moving, you remember how much it took you to get going. And so you're afraid of stopping. Sometimes also the momentum takes over and you get into a groove. We were talking about that actually last night with our friend group about, that kind of hyper focus of, when you kind of lose track of time because you're so involved with something and you like that feeling. So you want to keep it going. But sometimes you then ignore hunger signals, stuff like that. So everybody who's showing up right now has just practiced, almost like when you learn how to drive a car, especially if you learned how to drive a stick shift at some point. The stopping and not stalling out, and the starting up again and getting back into gear. Okay, so now you have practiced stopping and starting up again. Your engine is revving. We're getting into gear. And for the next 35 minutes, I'll do this until 12:30 Eastern. What's our destination? Okay, so you're getting stuff done. Cool thing is, I am happy to report that meeting went really well. Now, here's an interesting thing. We were talking earlier about how somebody had an idea and then somebody had another idea. And I had an idea literally back in the fall. And I explained it to my husband, but neither he nor I are experts. And then, because of just the organic way I have realized that things need to happen with us, I remembered that friends of ours had gotten their kitchen done by somebody. So we had a contractor come in. He came in last week and said, "Yes, I think we can do it." But the interesting thing was, and this was really cool, is his house is similarly constructed to ours. We live in a block house, and it's not a standard kind of build for around here. Also, because the weather has been really cold, there's been concern about freezing pipes. So one of the things that he was saying was, "I don't think that's going to work." And the neat and I was initially bummed, like, damn, my idea isn't going to work. Oh, I don't want things to look as bad as they do on this side. The cool thing is I reminded myself of what is the destination. It wasn't to just flip it for flip's sake. It was to decrease the amount of space that the washer and dryer would kind of jut out into the room. Now, the cool thing is we went downstairs, we explained options, and the neat thing is there are some things that he can do on the interior wall to decrease the amount of space that the washer and dryer are going to stick out. And the neat thing is it felt good to me. Notice what happens when you have a bigger picture to look for. You stop saying, "Oh, damn, my idea, I'm a loser because my idea lost and now we have to go with him." This one. The neat thing is that his solution ends up being easier, probably cheaper, and I feel good about what happened right there. I also was able to speak up for myself to say, "Okay, I'm on board with what's going on so far. Here's where it looks a little, I cannot picture it in my head what's going to happen here. So let me articulate what ideally I would like to happen." And I articulated what I wanted to happen, and he said, "Yes, we can do it." And I feel good. My husband feels good. The contractor feels good. And then, as soon as we are off of this call right here, I will take the next step, which is getting in touch with the woman about the cabinets and start the process rolling. But if I was so fixated on how that project needed to be done and I needed to be right and it needed to be moved, I'd be very frustrated now, because the answer was like, "We do not recommend doing that." And even that situation caused another problem that I didn't want. We would have had to solve for. So, yay, yay! I'm excited about this. I am excited about this. And notice a lot of this started up here. And I will say, your brain, your imagination is your superpower, because you can rearrange your entire house without lifting a finger. All you need to do is be like, "Okay, you can picture it." Hopefully, everybody here can picture things in their heads. Picture it in your head. Create a picture in your head. Fill it in with details. This is where the couch is. What could go over here? Well, I could move that. No, that wouldn't work. Okay, move it back. Much better than doing it in real life. Much like when the cabinet lady is going to come over. She's going to do some measurements, and then we're going to kind of imagine and talk and do some measurements, but then she will create a picture of that. And will that picture kind of match what is in my head? And this is great, because this is one of those instances where my husband was like, "This is you go for it. I don't, he's going to have some say, and I want him to agree. I want us to be partners in this." But it was a combination of having an idea in my head, but being flexible about the solution. And my ultimate goal was to feel good about it. Yay! So that's enough about me. We are still here, all of us, for the next half hour. Okay. So in case you were here for the first kind of half of this YouTube live, we're back. In case you're just kind of scrolling on YouTube, because that's what you do. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I'll be here for the next half hour, and I'm here to help you with your clutter, whether it's in your home, your head, your heart. Ideally, your home is where I like to start, and then your head, and then your heart, because, I'm a human. I'm not really a relationship coach, but factoring in all of those things, making sure, notice, I feel good about this plan. That's why I'm so excited to do the next thing, which is make an appointment to have somebody come over and take the next step. Like, let's make this happen. Let's get to destination, you know, Nook. That's what we call this area, because we actually have the blueprints of our house from 1950, whatever. And they called it the Nook. So we call it the Nook. It's like the makeover. It's going to be an HGTV special, and I'm psyched about it. So that's me. How about you? How about you? I hope in these chunks between our meetings, you've gotten some good stuff done. You've noticed that you can get little bits and pieces done, and little bits and pieces help. But I'm really here also to make it easier for you with whatever you're struggling with. So that being said, I don't know what you're struggling with today. Do you? I hope you're not struggling with anything. And you can just kind of get some stuff done while we're hanging out together. But if you're struggling with something clutter-wise, bring it to Auntie Beth. I will help you, okay? Because I'm good at this stuff. And I enjoy helping with something that I'm good at, okay? Yay, Danielle is finally taking her Christmas tree down. Yay. I will tell you, I lamented taking down our Christmas lights because I liked the glow it brought to our house. But yay for you. You got any plans for the weekend? Are you going to declutter anything this weekend? We do have some declutter parties, 2 tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern, noontime Eastern. So depending upon your schedule, if you're available, buy your tickets, show up. Yay. I'll show up, obviously. I have written down some stuff that I want to get done. This is my list from yesterday. I'm not quite sure because I got busy. I baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. I baked a cake yesterday. I am not a baker. Okay. Funny. I am doing a puzzle palooza tonight. It's a race to put together puzzles. Oh, see, this is a funny thing about me. That sounds like, I hope you think that is fun. Yay. A race like that would stress me out. To me, puzzles are supposed to be calming. And literally, we were just with friends last night who are turning into puzzle people, which is kind of funny. So I don't know if I would like that, but I think that's cool that you would like that. Awesome. Tomorrow's Saturday. Then we've got Sunday. Sunday's the Super Bowl for some people, for those who celebrate. Yeah. Okay, Danielle is saying, I don't really like puzzles, but my neighbor asked me. Now, notice the flexibility you will have. And this is something that I am thinking about nowadays, where it's like, I don't really like them, but if I want to hang around with my friends, do I want to do puzzles? The answer could be yes. I have done puzzles in the past. I kind of like doing them, but they're nothing that makes me go, ooh, I'd love to do this. Not nearly as exciting as hanging out with you guys and talking about stuff and making other cool things happen, but that's okay. So, do you have a plan written down for your weekend? What colors does it include? What colors does it include? Now, what do I mean by that? Is that when I schedule stuff, and let me see if I can find okay, this one has almost all the colors. Okay. So as a recap, writing down the list of things you want to get done this weekend, let's say, that align with one of your destinations. Flipping to the back of your book and writing it down. Then pulling some things out of that. And it's not going to be all work and no play. Okay. Every day, including your weekdays, I want you to make sure that you have something on your schedule every day, no matter how big or small, that is what I call the color of fun. This is my color of fun. I went through a pink phase, and it still is the color of fun. Okay. I also have the color of coaching. So I put the color of coaching. Oh, here, let me see if I can pop these up. There we go. Yay for my yoga block. The color of fun, the color of coaching, the color of TikTok lives and YouTube lives. Oops, wrong way. What color is this? The color of consultations. Wow. Come on, fun, get back here. And this to me is the color of scheduled stuff I have to do. Okay, so notice I have a variety of things that are all on my daily schedule that when I do all those things, they feel good. I don't want everything to be just one color. Now, notice coaching and TikTok lives and YouTube lives and consultations, that's all bundled under work, right? But then I have fun, and I want you to have fun too. So I make sure. And then there's certain things that fall under the life things, like, what is it? Like, I have one right here. Where was the one that I just was showing about the 4 colors? Nope, not that day. Tuesday. Yeah, like this is my OBGYN meeting. Like, I got to do it. And so it's like, meh, I don't really love it. But I also have something fun. And after the OBGYN, I will probably go get a cookie from the cookie lady. Okay. So when you are planning out your weekend, your daily weekday, make sure you have a rainbow on it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Like a rainbow. She's like a rainbow. There's 2 of them. I just had Cyndi Lauper and the Rolling Stones going through my head. So that's me. How about you? Heather MC. Yo. Where's my Heather MC in the house. I have decided my problems are actually just puzzles. Yes. Right now I'm working on paperwork puzzles. Okay. Olympics, says McDougs. Love it. So Heather MC, what is a paperwork puzzle? Would you like some help doing the puzzle yourself? Do you want to do the puzzle yourself, or would you like somebody to help you with it? If you want some help with a paperwork puzzle, I love that. I do the Wordle. I do the connections. Not necessarily all of them, but I would be happy to help if you want it. So just let me know, okay? Speaking of things to get done too, my colors are also, I use these for my habit tracker. Now, today is the 6th, and one of the things I did, I've only done one jot on mine so far, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Yep, I'm right. As I did in the chunk that we were between the TikTok live and the YouTube live, I did one little chunk. I took my multivitamin, my fish oil. Again, the habit tracker for an old person, right? I have yet to do, I've almost drank all my water. There we go. Okay. Heather MC, my puzzling is just going through everything and puzzling over toss or file. Okay. So how about this? If you want help with that, what I would like to see is, I would say, bring me, you've made a clear decision on some things. You have filed some things, you have tossed some things. That middle pile, though, of unsure of toss or file, if there's anything in that pile that you would like some professional, personal help with, just let me know one of those specifics that's kind of got you in limbo. And notice I've got what I'm calling now my tug of war rope here, like it's field day. And you've got something that says, should I stay or should I go now? You know, I can't sing Joe Strummer as much as I could. Should I keep it? It's a puzzlement. It's a puzzlement. Toss it or file it. Now, the neat thing about the paperwork and the tossing or filing is that it's going to remind you to reflect on, or I'll remind you to reflect on, before I even decide this, why am I saving this? And then listening for an answer. Now, with filing, it could be habit. It could be, I need this paper to prove that I had this expense because I am going to claim this expense on my taxes. I need to prove to the person I am selling my car to that every 3,000 miles, I got the oil changed in my car. I am saving this because in case the IRS comes and audits me in the next 7 years, I need to have this paperwork handy as proof that what I said on my taxes is backed up by the receipts. Okay. All righty. I will share this. Oh, Heather MC, I am so on the same page as you are right now, and I'm going to even show it. Okay. Hold on for a sec. Well, actually, I don't even need to stand up. I've got one right here. So I've done that too. And yeah, Heather MC, I will share with you. I lugged around some of my old notebooks and journals, literally right here. Notebooks, 1980s to 1990s. So I've lugged around some of these things for 40 years. For 40 years, I was afraid to look at them because I was afraid, frankly, of being triggered into pain, because a lot of what I was writing was when I was struggling, kind of pre-first marriage breakup, post-marriage breakup. And I love it that you said, I put so much work into them, but it's often just complaining. Me too. Me too. My fears were out, in full flames. I was afraid of so many things, afraid of not finding love again, afraid of being stuck in a job, afraid of not living the life I wanted to live. Now there's so many of them and I have nowhere to put them. Here's something that helped me, Heather. So I would love for this to help you. I hope it does. This is what I realized is some of the things that we do are to get the end result. Okay. So we write a book so that we have a book to sell, to promote, to look at what we did. So that is work you put into writing because the end result is important. However, there are other things that we do that the end result is not what we're aiming for. The reason I find is that we write things down because the journaling and complaining is a way of us getting in touch with our nervous systems, writing down, and learning more about ourselves. And so it isn't about keeping those things. It's like I have the result here. I have learned something, and the journaling is how I got there. Was I discovered this about myself. So I just offer to you, and this helped me, is that was just almost like when you do a math problem and you've got like the whole, long division type thing where you show your work. This was the thought process you were going through circa 1996. You understand now, you have a glimpse into the past of what you were thinking and feeling. And I did with my own. And I said, oh, wow. Oh my God, my poor little self. I was so fearful that I would never find love again and find people I wanted to hang out with and all that. Poor me. Thank goodness that person was wrong. I know I was scared about that stuff, but also, frankly, knowing how important it was for me to find people that I had commonality with caused me to take a big, as I like to call it in my coaching, I haven't used this term in a while, but a scary shortcut. I flew across the country, first time ever, alone, to meet up with people who I had never met before in person at a music festival, not planning on finding the love of my life, but lo and behold, I did. And now we're married, coming up on 24 years. Okay. So notice your complaining was you airing your grievances to yourself, giving yourself a safe space to reveal to yourself what was bugging you. Now, to me, a complaint is an important thing. It is becoming aware of something that bugs you. Now, once I realized this, when I was going through my things, I would flip through, and I was definitely a cluttered kind of journaler. I specifically would just open up a page and write something and then write down my shopping list. And then on another one, there's a deep revelation about something. So I took the time to go through even just one or two. And I realized that I didn't need to keep that anymore. And I felt good about giving it a quick glance and learning some things and laughing at some stuff and showing, my husband, oh, look at this cartoon I made about a whack-a-mole that has guacamole in it. And then I felt totally okay letting go of those things. Now, if it was something that was highly personal and I was afraid that the trash man's going to see it, I would pull out the pages and tear them out. So I hope that, yeah. So if you have nowhere to put them, I would just ask yourself, do I need to keep this anymore? Or has this journal served its purpose for me? I also did this, and I hope this helps you, Dan. I hope that this helps you, Heather. As I was going through, and I have it right here. As I was going through my journals, I have, because I just have them all over the place, a clipboard. And this, I'm trying to get rid of this orange stack of paper, so I use it for scrapbook or scrap paper. And I said, okay, I'm going to take notes here. Okay. And I will write down the important things from that, if anything. So, like, for example, big green sketchbook from 1994. I reminded myself I was 27 or 28 years old at the time. No road trip notes. I was okay. So here's where I was, 27, 28, was learning more about record labels to get a job at one. I was taking a video class to do a retro roadmap. Now, this was circa 1994. I didn't even start my blog for retro roadmap until 2009. Now, I had been taking pictures all along, but notice I saw the roots of something that was important to me then and continued to stay important. And that didn't really bloom until 94, 14, 15 years later, and I wrote to myself as I'm writing this, I am so glad I made that happen. My small green notebook of 94, I was collecting old postcards. I had a computer, but there was no internet yet. I saw the cardigans at Lupo's, so some random stuff. 1997, I went to Mexico. So instead of saving the whole book, there's literally like a haiku right here. Other ones, yeah. And so, yep, I was learning about myself and the important things that I wanted to remember about myself, I wrote down. And now I can do something else with these notes, even probably read these, and I might let go of those at some point. I call this my archives. Okay. So some of these I will go through, 97 to 98. Some of this, like, do I need to save pages like this? What does that even say? Yeah. Bank, gas, haircut, dead milkman, hoodoo gurus, Man Ray. Thursday, 4:00. Then I go to school and then home. Do I really need to save that? Right? Art, Philly. Yeah. I mean, some of this stuff, I haven't looked at this since these. Okay. Megabucks. I had my Megabucks numbers. Had to go to the South Shore across the street. Some of these pages are blank. Other times I wrote things upside down. So I will be interested I look forward to going through this. I also look forward to letting go of whatever's in there, So this is another cool one too. I will share. This is, I think, the first official notebook that I ever got. It's kind of sparkly. It's in rough shape now. Yeah, 82 to 86. So I got this when I was in junior high school. I got it at Faneuil Hall. Oh my God. You know what's wicked funny? Talk about back in the day. My social security number is literally on the first page here, so I could remember it. There's the name of the people that I used to babysit for. There was, interesting, my friend's mother's name for some reason, my dad's name with his, I guess if I needed, you know what this was? Is if I was going for a job interview, these were like references. Oh my God, my first job, Telecheck. My second job, EMAC and Bolios. Again, I will walk down memory lane, but busy for the rest of my life. A Stone Age living room with wall-to-wall dirt. I don't know. Here's some songs that I liked in May of 84. Simple Minds, Minor Detail, Lenny and Squiggy. So it's fun for me to go back and see who I was and then kind of come up to the future and say, part of that is still me. I still like Lenny and the squeak tones. So I am learning that I have always been me. It's okay. So Heather and anybody who's going, maybe we'll call this one like the journaling one. But if you are hanging on to journals, don't be afraid to open them up and see who you were. Love every iteration of yourself. Think about that. Think about yourself as an app on your phone. If that's not the one. That you know how they always say, "Oh, yep, time to update it," right? I have one that needs updating. I'll update it. Love every iteration of yourself. Have compassion and understanding that you, whatever age you were doing the best you could with the skills you had, with what you learned, with your experience in the world, with recognizing if you had a nervous system or not, your bravery, whether you believed that you could get what you want in life, because back then I did not. My God. And I am so glad I changed my mind about that because freaking Technicolor Cinerama awesomeness. Okay. So yay. Speaking of yay, hello, is this thing on? I'm on the radio. I love it. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Carla Jane is in the house. Good morning, y'all. I love it. Carla Jane. Carla Jane. I will be here for like the next 8 minutes or so. It's been a lovely, wonderful, flexible morning here. So nice to see you. I bet your ears were burning earlier because Kara, and I almost called her Carla with a K because I picture things in my head and read them. That's how my brain works. Kara said, all y'all. And I have a postcard that I love that it says, I love all y'all. And even though I am not Southern, I love that sentiment. And I love the y'all inclusiveness of y'all. There we go. Look who I just conjured up, or who might have been lurking. So it's Kara with a K and it's Carla with a C. I love it. Yay. Okay. Heather MC, you're welcome about the journal chat. It gives me much to consider. Yeah. And I will say this. I mean, notice I too, and I'm the freaking expert in the room. It has still taken me, shit. Is that like freaking 40 years from now? Holy guacamole. And yeah, I did make a picture. It was wicked funny. I took a picture of the picture and it was like a whack-a-mole, but it had little avocados coming out of it. And I called it guacamole, like guacamole, because I have always had an awesome sense of humor. And that's one of the things I love about myself. I hope when you go through Heather MC, my wish for you, you go through your journals, your diaries with love in your eyes and heart for who you were when you wrote them. Love you trying to work out whatever it was. Noticing, wow, I was really hyper fixated on this certain thing, and I wish I had not been so afraid and so stressed out about stuff. I wish I had more trust in my life. But honestly, I was just coming out of a relationship where my ex-husband was a total liar and very unworthy of my trust. So I am not surprised that I was not confident in trusting other people or myself. Thank goodness I worked on that back then. And then I ended up marrying like the most trustworthy guy, Yes, it was so funny. In between things, as I was jumping, Kara, I saw you send the link on TikTok to the Palm Springs place. So exciting. I just got in touch with our friends in Palm Springs. We're going there at the end of this month. So you guys will notice, actually, I'm seeing, oh, it cracks me up. I still have that there. Let me check the secret page. So the secret page has a couple of things on it. As a reminder, there are 2 declutter parties tomorrow, Saturday, February 7th, 8 a.m. Eastern to 9:30, and then 12 p.m. noontime, 12 p.m. to 1:30. Pick the one that's right for you and show up. I'll be here. I'll probably be going through my stuff and laughing. I have updated the TikTok and YouTube schedule through Sunday, February 15th. Okay. Um, and I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about how even as we work together, I am learning subtle differences, noting how much more fun it can be to separate the two chunks. We're still meeting for 2 hours, but it doesn't have to be 1 2-hour block. It can be 2 1-hour blocks. Even the second 1-hour block, I had to chunk down because I had a wonderful opportunity. We asked if the contractor could come over because I want something done in the house. And what Betty wants, Betty gets, right? Isn't that a fun thing to say? What I want is what I get. Not I never get what I want, because I used to live that life. And this one is much more fun. So I am here to help you. Even pay attention to what you want. I mean, I think back to me when I was, in early grade school and seeing Hard Day's Night on the Channel 10 afternoon movie at my grandmother's house and seeing how gosh darn cute and talented that Paul McCartney was, those 4 Beatles, and saying, ooh, I want to go to there. And then decades later, being able to get married to a cute, kind, talented, harmonious musician. So pay attention to what's important to you. Now, there's other things about me, my grade school me, that I barely remember. I guess I still like Fruity Pebbles. I don't know. I haven't had them in a while. So get in the habit of getting closer to just comfortable with asking yourself, what do I want? And write it down. Some of it may not happen for decades, but maybe you've planted a seed. Sometimes the seed you plant will bloom. Other times they don't, and maybe that's a good thing. Decide. Maybe, not all babies take. Not all the crocuses that I planted out here are going to bloom, but that's okay. I've at least planted them, and some of them will pop up. And if they don't, oh well, I tried. And I would much rather look back and say, I tried and it didn't work out, versus saying, I didn't try. I wonder what would have happened if it worked out. Because I tried. I went out to California to look for people who had a common interest with. And I didn't know I was going to find husband. So again, what do you want? And I'll wrap it up because we're here. What do you want? And that was kind of life coachy. Let's chunk it down to the little cube you live in, like the cube I live in, which is your home. What do you want your kitchen to look like today and in the future? Write both of those down. Hopefully, the things you do to make it look better today will also be the steps to make it look better in the future. How do you want your kitchen to function? I want it easy for me to find the things I'm looking for, easy to use them because they work well. So I'm going to get rid of those dull scissors and only keep the sharp ones. And I'm going to make sure that those sharp scissors have a home so that when I am done using the scissors, I can easily practice putting them away because I have made a home for them that makes it easy to remember to put them away. And when things look the way I want and function the way I want, the way I want plus function the way I want, easy, equals James Brown. I feel good. Yes, and keeping not just one potato masher, but the best potato masher, the one that you go, yes, this is the one that mashes the potatoes the best. Yay, Carla Jane. All right, you guys, I am literally chomping at the bit. I guess they call it champing at the bit. I still think it's chomping. To lovingly sign off for you guys. I would hang out with all you guys if I could, but I love my life as well. And I want to hop on the phone and call the lady about the cabinets because I want to get this kitchen project done. All right. I look forward to seeing any of you who are able to show up and declutter tomorrow at the parties. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you can't be a party person with us, you're not a party pooper. But there is the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday TikTok, YouTube live schedule is available. And we've got a Valentine's Day. We've got 2 parties together and the day after that. So there's all sorts of good stuff on the secret page. It's been awesome to hang out with you today. Notice flexibility and have a great day. Have a great weekend. Have a great life. Bye.